If you haven't seen or tried Dippin Dots, you're in for a treat to see how they make these tiny little dots of delicious ice cream. Let's take a look at Dippin Dots, made right here in Kentucky.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge to come up with the next great idea. You know, what are you going to do to top the original Dippin Dots idea? And this is our 26th year in the business, and we're always looking for that next new product, new flavor, new idea, new way to market the flavors, new way to market the products. It's just an ongoing challenge. It started with Kurt Jones, the inventor and founder of Dippin Dots. He happened to be on a weekend. He was making some homemade ice cream and talking with one of his friends about what he was doing at work and how he was freezing these probiotics, and the method he was using was freezing them in liquid nitrogen, and it was able to make the product less ice crystals and just a superior product. And then he just happened to think, I wonder what homemade ice cream would taste like if I froze it that way. So he froze it that way in his kitchen. About 6 months later, he quit his job and started Dippin Dots. Well, Dippin Dots is very similar to any other ice cream on the front end. So we have the milk, the cream, the sugar, and all the ingredients that make up Dippin Dots are blended in. The flavoring is added. And then the part that differentiates us from other ice creams is the freezing technologies. And we've developed our own freezing technology where we actually run the liquid mix through a cryogenic processor and turn that liquid mix into beaded ice cream. And it's done by, basically it's dripping the mix into liquid nitrogen at 320 below Fahrenheit, and then it's instantly frozen. Then we bring it back out of that liquid nitrogen bath and we package it in various packaging options. And then we put it in a minus 45 degree warehouse for storage until we're ready to ship it out. And our shipping and distribution is quite unique also, because we don't ship on refrigerated carriers like most ice creams do. We have to pack our product in dry ice and then we ship by commercial carrier. So we've developed our own cold chain, our own distribution system, and it's taken 26 years to evolve and develop into what we are today. It's a challenge. Distribution is probably our biggest one, the storage and the distribution, because it makes it much more expensive because we have to ship small amounts on dry ice to places all over the country. We have probably close to 4,000 different locations that we have to ship to. So it makes it a real challenge. We have a research and development department, and they do a lot of the, what I would call the upfront work, and looking at the trends, what are people liking, what are the flavor trends, and there's a lot of research and magazine articles out on that, so we try to stay up with that. And then they provide those trends to a flavor committee, and the flavor committee has input from our customer base, also from the theme parks and the shopping malls and things. So they come together collectively as a group and start choosing what flavors that we want to try and to put out before the public. Most of them are brought in and out. We have several standard flavors that we keep all the time, but we circulate new flavors probably on a quarterly basis, and on an annual basis we'll introduce something new, and then we'll rotate it in and out. And of course seasonal flavors will rotate in and out also. We are Kentucky proud product. Everything we manufacture, everything right here in Kentucky. There's only one other Dippin Dots plant in the world, and that's Seoul, Korea. So we service most of the world out of Paducah, Kentucky. And we are exporting to 11 different countries, and it's all with Kentucky pride, everything from Paducah. Probably the biggest thing it takes to work here is a good work ethic. People that want to work, people that don't care to get involved and get their hands not necessarily dirty, but maybe sticky. But It takes people that don't mind going the extra mile. You know, if it requires overtime to get the target made for the day, then they're willing to do that. If it requires going out at night or going out on the weekends in order to present the product or to make some sales, then that's what's required. So we have people all across the board that are more than willing to give of their time and resources to make the product successful and to share the product with other people. It's an innovative idea, but it's also a very high quality product. And I think that's what really keeps us going, is because one, the innovation attracts people to try it. The quality brings people back continuously again and again to continue the business. And that's been really important to us, is to have repeat customers, satisfied customers, and they bring in new customers. It's always exciting because Dippin Dots is one of the very few products where you can ask someone about Dippin Dots and they can tell you the first time they ever tried it. There's not very many products that can make that claim, but it's very exciting to hear those first stories, how they first tried Dippin Dots and how excited they were. And that keeps our jobs exciting and continuously looking to see those new experiences. I think people don't expect the texture and the flavor burst to come out because they're really not expecting it. They're expecting it to be something different than ice cream, but whenever they taste it, they get the flavor of ice cream, the smoothness of ice cream, but then a lot more because they get the roundness and the extra smoothness because of being frozen in liquid nitrogen. And then as it warms up in their mouth, they get all that creaminess, and flavor is really coming out and more alive. So you always get a smile, and that's the most important part.